My goal?
Your role, like your job, or
My job was like bringing prisoners of war from the front lines and put them into stockades. Get them off the battlefield and bring them into the towns and put them into big camps, you know, behind barbed wire fences. I was happy. I enjoyed it because I wanted to go in there to help my country out, you know. So I figured, hey, I gotta go. This is my country, so that's why I enlisted. Really stormed them. We just walked, you know, like I walked in Sherbrooke in Normandy, right off the LST boats, off the boats that opened up, and we went onto the beach, and already a lot of guys were there already, you know. Well, I wasn't the first one or anything like that, you know. But I just followed out. Then when prisoners were there, we took them and brought them back into stockades. See, I'll tell you what it was. When I got on the LST, when we started boarding it from France, from England, from the port of England, going into Sherbrooke, right across the canal. And that was really rough. We boarded that LST, that opens up. I dropped my rifle, and oh, I got so dizzy. Sergeant started hollering at me, pick that rifle up, soldier. So I had to pick it up. As sick as I was, I picked it up. But I was sick as anything because that's how it was bouncing up and down. There's nothing worse than going across that channel, the English Channel. It is the roughest channel that I ever seen. It is waves that were just coming right over that LST. That's before we got from England into France, into Normandy there, and then he drops down and you run into the water. A lot of guys were throwing up, sick, you know, couldn't help it because that's the way you were bouncing up and down. But I was sick, I'll tell you that, yeah. But I cured it as soon as I get up on the beach. When I got over there, they gave me some kind of pills, you know, whatever they were, and everything was all right. Walked onto the beach and then start putting up putting out our pup tents. You know, we slept in pup tents, little pup tents we had. We put them out on the desert. We put them poles in, put our tent in, and the only thing we had to watch at night, the Arabs used to come in and steal stuff from us. They would come in at night, you know, so we always had to patrol all along at night, even when we hit the beach, you come into the beaches, you know. Same thing in France. When I walked into Sherbrooke, when they had the big guns up on the hill, on that big mountain, we walked in onto the beach, but everything was, you know, pretty well under control already, you know. Not really. The only contact we had as taking them prisoners, you know. Then we had contact with them because we went into where they were held prisoners. We took them all out, marched them all down to the ships, down the hill, down to the thing, you know, to the beach. And outside of that, the only firing, most of it was really pretty well done. But the only thing we had some problems with was the Arabs. They were still with the Germans, and they were, whatever they could do to, you know, to the United States, to the guy soldiers, even stealing stuff, you know. They would steal things from us at night, though, you know. If you didn't patrol around, they would be taking everything, you know. So outside of that, everything was pretty good. These were all German prisoners, all German prisoners. We didn't have no, we didn't take any French air. They were all German. But over in England and France, we had some mixed. We had a lot of nationalities of prisoners. So we had the Germans, we had a little bit of French, we had this here, you know. Yeah. We even had Polish prisoners there too, you know. We had them all. They were a lot of them were taken. They were put in. Then after they were all interrogated, you know. And some of them that were allowed to go, they let them go, you know. But there was the rest of them.
What were your accomplishments in North Africa?
Well, we mostly just keep getting the ORAD under control and taking the prisoners out of there and bringing them back into stockades, getting them out of Africa, and let the people live their life, you know. And people were safer when they know that all the prisoners are out of there and the U.S. is there to take over, you know. So outside of that, we were happy to do all that, you know. Everybody was, that's something that we accomplished, you know. How
do you feel it impacted World War II, the campaign in North Africa?
Oh, I feel great about it, I'll tell you that, because that was something good to get down there and to, you know, clean everything up like that, you know, just to go in through that. Like, well, what could I say? Just got into North Africa, did what we had to do. A lot of my buddies that went into North Africa with me never came back. Some went towards Casablanca, some went towards Algiers, and few of them got their, when they come home, they shipped them home, they got their legs machine gunned, and when they got home, I heard from their parents that they hung themselves, you know. I don't know how they did it, but they found them in a cellar with the rope around their neck, and I just you know, didn't want to live no more after your legs were off, but I was just one of them lucky ones. Out of 7 of us that went in, right now I'm the only one living, and they're all gone. How do I think World War II changed the world? Well, it made a better place for us people to live. We didn't have to be as scared that somebody's going to do this and somebody's going to invade us and not to do nothing about it. At least people are free now. They don't have to be as scared. Back then, the war broke down, Hitler would say he came into Poland, took Poland, went into Czechoslovakia, walked right in, and look, all the people Germany killed, put them in these death camps, and we didn't have to worry about dying, being anybody, you know. So that's one thing about it. The president was great to do what he did to stop all this stuff. get the boys back in and put them in the service and clean up all this thing. Because if it wasn't for that, Germany and all that, Russia, they would just take over the whole world, and we would have to live under their regime, and that wouldn't be good. We couldn't do what we want to do. We'd have to live their lives. This way we got our own lives to live. You can do what you want to, say what you want to. Over there, they couldn't do that. If they did, they would either shoot them or put them in prison and just keep them here. At least we fought for what we thought was right. We could say anything, talk free. Nobody would lock us up. Over there, you couldn't do that. You'd get locked up right away and be punished. Gave me that for like coming into Sherbrooke and all that, and under fire, you know. Well, there still was stuff going on, you know, but still they had planes going over. Then they had last planes that come in. Well, I wasn't. I mean, they never had that down in Okinawa. The last Japanese planes that came over, but they never gave me nothing for that because I don't think they wanted to get involved with anything like that to make it that they made a mistake by saying. I was on my way to be home from France with enough of points after over 3 years, and I had enough of points to come home, and they put me on a ship, and instead of me coming into California or San Francisco there, I wound up in Okinawa. And I had stayed there till they got a ship going out, and they sent me home from there. See, but I never got nothing from that, and I never said nothing either. I said I was happy just to. Of course, the war was over already, you know. Mm-hmm. I think it was the last 5 Jap planes that came over there, and they just the ones that just didn't give up, you know, but they got them anyway. But